Hello, welcome back. This is my March empties video, so I'm going to talk through all of the beauty items that I finished up in March, and I finished up 11 items. I used up most of these items right at the very beginning of the month and then at the very end of the month. There was a good 2 or 3 weeks in the middle of the month where I actually kind of thought, hang on, have I finished any items? Have I actually added anything to my list? So I checked my list on my phone and I had actually used up some items, and then at the very end of the month I used up a few more. So yeah, weird that there was a good big chunk in the middle of the month where I didn't finish up anything. But anyway, I have 11 items to talk through. They're behind me on my dressing table. I have a perfume, I've got a bit of makeup, a bit of skincare and a little bit of body care in there as well. So let's get started. Let's start with perfume. My favourite perfume, or one of my favourites. I don't know if this is actually my #1 favourite, because the one I'm currently using, which is the Yves Saint Laurent Libre Intense, this is incredible. But the one I finished was Chanel No. 5. This was a 35ml bottle, so not a very big bottle, but it is pricey, so that's probably why I've got a small bottle. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous perfume. I did a few months ago put up a perfume video where I kind of spoke through my favourite perfumes and then what notes are in those perfumes and if there was a connection. Now with this one, this contains a lot of notes that I really enjoy. So there is citrus in here from the orange and the mandarin, but then there's also jasmine and ylang ylang and bergamot, and I love those scents. But this one actually contains some of my favourite scents, which are white musk, vanilla and tonka bean. So that's why this one just smells so comforting and nourishing, but it's got a little bit of citrus to lift the scent of it as well. Now this is a classic perfume. I'm sure most of you watching have at some point smelt this perfume, but it is a little bit of a polarising perfume as well. Some people really love it, so like myself, I love this perfume. I have a habit of whenever I go on holiday and I go through duty free, I spray myself with some of this perfume. Don't know why I started doing that, but anyway, that is what I do. But then there are other people who absolutely dislike this perfume, who it kind of reminds them of a little bit of an old granny scent, which I find really quite insulting. Poor grannies. But love it, this perfume. It's not the first time I've used up a bottle of this perfume, and it's not going to be the last. Absolutely beautiful perfume. I love it. I just feel like I smell and I seem more kind of polished and put together when I use this perfume. So absolutely beautiful, and this was my everyday perfume. I don't leave perfumes for a special occasion. I wear a perfume every single day without fail. It's just something that I do as part of my routine for getting ready. So the body care items are all hand creams. I have finished up 2 of the exact same product, which is the Elemis 20ml Neroli Blossom Hand and Nail Balm, and I have used up another one of these in previous empties as well. So I got a set of like 6 of these for Christmas, and these are brilliant hand creams. I either spend more money on a hand cream like Elemis, or I spend it on a cheaper one like the Garnier one I'm going to talk about in a minute. But these are really nourishing hand creams. They don't leave your fingers feeling like really sticky and tacky afterwards, so you know, you can touch your phone, you can touch your screen or whatever, and you're not going to get smear marks. The scent of this, neroli, so orangey, very kind of uplifting, but not hugely zesty. And the 20ml size tubes are, like I said before, like a really handy size to have, because you can have them in lots of different places. So in like your handbag, you can have them on your coffee table, next to your bed, next to your desk at work. So very handy sizes to have, and just a beautiful hand cream. So I think I have about 2 or 3 of these to go, so you will be seeing more of these in empties, and I have used these many times in the past and will continue to use these hand creams in the future. And then the other hand cream I've used up, I have used these before as well. These have appeared in empties, and it's a Garnier Intensive 7 Days Restoring Hand Cream. A bigger tube, this is 100ml, so not so good in putting in your handbag. If you're like me and you have a small handbag, this probably wouldn't fit. So that's where your 20ml one is a better size. Now, as much as I like the Elemis one, if I wanted to save a few pennies, or a few pounds actually, I would buy the Garnier one, because this one is very similar to the Elemis one. They perform in very similar ways. I feel like my hands are equally hydrated. I still don't get that tacky, sticky texture afterwards as well. And the scent of this is really nice. This is a shea butter one, and I think you can get mango as well. So the scent isn't too overpowering. I think the scent is stronger in the Elemis one, so if you are a bit kind of sensitive to scents, Garnier is probably your better bet. But for me, it really depends whether I want to go for something a little bit more luxurious and get an Elemis one, or whether I'm happy just going for a Garnier one that costs a few quid. But I would recommend both of them. I think both brands are excellent in terms of hand creams. I don't look to any other brand now when it comes to hand creams. Okay, let's move on to makeup. Now, I'm not going to talk about one of the makeup items because it's a project pan item. But the other item I actually finished up last night. I'm filming this on the 1st of April. Happy April Fool's Day, if that's even a thing. And I finished this up last night on the 31st, so this just made it into my March empties. This is my Eucerin lip balm. I usually, with applicators like this, cut the tube open and scoop out the rest of the product, but this is so small I can't be bothered to do that with this. Now, if this was a lip balm that I absolutely adored and didn't want to be done with, I would do so, but I'm not that bothered about scooping out every last bit of product for this one, so I'm calling this one done. I can no longer squeeze any product out of this, and I've been contorting this into all types of funny positions trying to get the last little bit of product out of this, so I can't get any more out. This was a product that I spoke about in my more makeup that I want to pan this year, because I actually do include lip balm as a makeup item. So that is one that is ticked off that list. I knew I was going to finish this one off though, because I wear lip balm multiple times throughout the day, so it wasn't ever going to be one that I was going to struggle with. But anyway, it was an easy win. This is a good lip balm. This is one of the better lip balms that I have tried. It's got a similar texture to, say, Vaseline, so it is a bit kind of like jelly-like. It is very hydrating. It looks lovely as well over, you know, a lipstick or a lip liner if you want to, but it is a nice hydrating lip balm. I wouldn't say it's entirely hydrating though, because I do still notice that I have dry lips. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back to Vaseline and see if the OG, if Vaseline is much better than lip balms that cost a lot more than it. But I would recommend this one, and this one is a very handy sized tube, I suppose, because it's a very small product. It's only 10 mils, and then because you're squeezing it as well, you don't actually need to get your finger on it and get your fingers all sticky. So like with Vaseline, where it's a pot or a tub, that is a little bit more messy. But a nice lip balm. I would buy this one again in the future, and I would recommend it, but I am curious to see how Vaseline compares with this one, because I haven't used Vaseline in a long time. Okay, let's finish with skincare. I have 4 Skin and Me items to talk through. Ooh. Right, so I have both a, which way is it? Yes, a cleanser and a moisturiser from Skin and Me. So with my first Skin and Me box, I got 2 of this size of the cleansers and 2 of this size of the moisturisers, and that is now both of them used up. I wouldn't use these again though. I don't think they're particularly hydrating, so I have gone back to using my Kate Somerville Goat Milk Cleanser, and then for my moisturiser I use La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. So much better than these two. My skin feels so much more hydrated now. The cleanser is a cream cleanser, but it feels a little bit like you're trying to cleanse with a moisturiser. The texture is really weird. It is easy to wash off though. It's not a difficult product to get off your skin, but it's just when you're rubbing it in, you're like, am I accidentally using the moisturiser? So a little bit bizarre. And then the moisturiser is fairly fluid in texture. It's not runny, but it feels very fluid. It feels very watery. And like I say, it's not that hydrating, so I do need to apply more of this than I would do with other moisturisers that I use. But glad that I've tried them, but yeah, I wouldn't use either of those two again. And then I finished up 2 of my doses. I finished up one of them last night, and then I must have finished up the other one right at the very start of the month, because you get about 28 days worth of product in each of these, I think. So my first one contained azelaic acid at 10%, clindamycin at 1% and niacinamide at 4%, and then the other one that I finished up last night, exactly the same bar the azelaic acid, which is 12%. These are to target my, what I thought might have been like very mild rosacea, because my cheeks would go really quite red and quite rosy, and that would happen fairly regularly. And then also I've been given clindamycin because I've had some breakouts, and I was a bit surprised being given clindamycin, because I thought, well, I don't have acne. Is my skin really that bad to warrant having an antibiotic? But recently, and I am filming weekly updates, so once I've done 3 months of these, I'll put that video up. But recently, over the past week or two, the redness has gone down. I don't think I've noticed any sort of episodes of having really red rosy cheeks, and then I haven't had any breakouts for the past couple of weeks, and where I've had some scarring here, I feel like the azelaic acid is really targeting it now. So yeah, I feel like I'm really starting to see results now with these, having been on it for 2 months. So both of those have been used up. And then the last product I've used up is a Korean, no it's not, it's Japanese because it's Can Make Tokyo. A Japanese, correct me if I am wrong, the Can Make Mermaid Skin Gel UV SPF 50. Pretty sure this is my second bottle of this because it's meant to be like the #1 SPF in Asia, in like Korea and Japan. And it is a beautiful, beautiful SPF. It feels like you're applying moisturiser. It doesn't have that typical SPF feel to it where it's very thick, very heavy, greasy. You spend a lot of time trying to rub in all of the whiteness for the SPF. This just applies like a really hydrating moisturiser, so it is a pleasure to use. If you don't like using an SPF, if you find the process like really annoying, if it's not your favourite product to kind of feel on your skin, go for either a Japanese or a Korean SPF because they are so much nicer to apply. Now I get this off Style Vanna, but I think you can also use Yes Style. I'm pretty sure I've used Yes Style in the past as well. They do take a little while to deliver, so don't expect it in the next few days. You do have to wait a few weeks. So I have to make sure that I buy these well in advance of me running out of my products, and then when I do place an order, I get like 4 or 5 SPF, so I do place a big order, so I've got a good backup of products. Brilliant, brilliant product. Like I say, it just feels like you're applying a moisturiser. I don't notice any white cast on myself, but I don't really think I'm you know, I'm pretty pale. I don't think I'm the best judge of character when it comes to having white cast on your face, but I would highly, highly recommend this SPF. It is a pleasure to apply, and because you have the SPF 50 plus, you are getting a really good high level of protection. And those were my empties for the month. I've spent nearly 15 minutes talking. I usually spend like double the amount of time talking about products, so yeah, it seems like this might be a fairly short empties video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please let me know the products that you've used up this month. Have there been any absolute fails, or have there been any products that you've really, really loved and you would definitely repurchase them in a heartbeat? Please let me know your thoughts. And if you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't as well. It would be lovely to have you here. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again very soon for my monthly videos of my project pan update and my pan in every eyeshadow palette update. See you soon.